I'm ready for some van tours.
Yay. Okay, so before we jump in, I do want to just put out one of our polls because we like to start all of our meetings, both as a team and with our people that we talk to regularly about how we're doing. So this is just a check-in. Essentially, you'll see a pop-up on your screen right now that will ask how you're doing. So if you're green, you're good, everything's going well. If you're yellow, things could be better, but you see kind of an end in sight. Orange, not so great, and you're not sure when you're going to get better. And then red is, this is an emergency. And we just like to make sure that we're checking in with each other before we have these things so we know where we're at, and we can also care for each other a little more deeply. And as y'all are doing that, I'll just introduce myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Jess Schisler. I'm one of the co-founders of the Vanlife App, along with Brienne. So you'll be hearing from her in a moment, but we're really grateful that you all could be here. Brienne and Lacey had started meetup events in San Diego 3-4 years ago now. And that they happen every other month. And one of the coolest things about them was being able to see everybody's vans and go, like, everybody had their doors open, you just go and look at everything. So with this whole pandemic, it's been something we've been missing. So we're really glad for all the presenters here today that have opened their sliding doors to us and shown us their homes. So I'll let Brienne introduce herself because we have a couple other people on our team here. I just want to say hello, just because they're such a big part of our team.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. I am Brienne, the ladies van on Instagram, and Lacey does more of our social media stuff. I'm really not great at social media, but feel free to reach out to us if you ever want to, and Lacey will answer you. So we started the Vanlife app a couple years ago. It's definitely been a whirlwind. For those of you who saw the app when it first came out, it was real crap. But it's a lot better now. So go on it, try it out. We have a ton of locations, ton of people on there now. And we're building fast. We have a lot of developers on it. So let us know if you have any tips. This resource is for us and for you and for like our community that we care about so much. So please let us know what we can do to make your experience on the road better, and how we can serve you. We love hearing about it. We also have Natalia, and I think John is on here. Natalia, are you on here?
John's here.
Okay, there's John, and Natalia is somewhere on here. There's a lot of faces on here. John is one of our developers. He is awesome. He's like one of the first people on our team who's been working for free for almost a year, just because he loves it so much. And Natalia joined our team a couple months ago as a UX designer. So she's the one who's running tests. If any of you are interested in beta testing or giving us feedback on the app, we're coming out with a new version very soon, so we'd love your insight. But I've been speaking way too much, and I'm going to let Jess take over.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll, and you should be seeing the results. So overall, everybody's doing pretty good. A few yellows, and that's a-okay. It is okay to be in the yellow. And just know if you ever want to chat more, just reach out to any one of us. We're definitely here. So thanks for participating in that. And I do want to mention that today's event is sponsored by Storyteller Overland. And so you're going to get to see one of their badass vans today. And they have the reason we partner with them is their values are highly aligned with ours. We really believe that, everybody has the right to get outdoors. Everybody has the right to go to awesome campsites, and making this outdoor space accessible. So we're really proud to partner with them for these events. And let me just go over a few rules. If you want to ask questions during any of this, what you're going to be experiencing over this next hour or so, hour and a half, is that you're going to see some videos of van tours. And we chose this because we just wanted to make sure that we were all seeing the quality and being able to like really focus instead of, you know, having your computers go like this. So appreciate the time that our participants have had to create those videos. And so we'll show a video, and then we'll have a Q&A session with the person who owns the van. And so you can either chat your questions in the chat box on the side of your screen, or actually just do that. And then one of us will get there. We can unmute you if you want to say something too. So don't be shy. This is a community event. If you need closed captionings, and actually can one of my team members drop this down in the chat, closed captionings are available when you press more, and I think they're only available on desktop. So click more, and then you'll be able to select closed captioning, and it will display words directly on your screen as we're speaking. And if everyone's doing really good on this right now, but let's just remember that we do have a lot of people here today, so just stay muted if you are not speaking. So thank you in advance for that. And let's jump in. Whew, here we go. Are you guys ready for this? And this is like a little nerve-wracking because mine's first, and that is kind of dark. Okay, here we go. Share, and it's, well, that's flattering. Okay, here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Jess, and this is my 2017 Mercedes Sprinter 4x4 edition. It's got Backwoods Adventure Mods bumpers on the front and the back, and their latest roof rack. Starting at the beginning, we elevated the floor above the factory step to allow for extra shoe storage. It's just magnetized on. So come on in. We have a 12-volt Dometic fridge. Slides out. It holds about 5 days of food. You just got to make sure that you lock it so it doesn't slide when you drive. All right, and as you enter, we have all of our food up here. We have 12 gallons of running water in these blue tanks, which we prefer over the hose connection because you can carry them right into the Safeway, which is a grocery store. We also made a very important decision that while we were driving, we would have access to snacks and trash. And then these are all locking so that when we go on those bumpy dirt roads, they don't pop open. We have a propane stovetop. Up here we have some more storage, and everything is Velcroed down because we did have an unfortunate accident where we had some oil spill. So we've learned our lesson. Everything is very secure. There's even Velcro here. And then the hinges hold them closed. Over here, I have my closet, and I actually have the back one too because I got a few more clothes. I wasn't very good about the one in, one out, and so Mike had to give me some of his closet. All right, and so as we go over here, this is our Nature's Head composting toilet. It vents right out the floor, so it doesn't create any smell if it's working correctly. We have a Lagoon swivel mount so that we can both work here at the same time. And as you'll notice, for our bed, I'm a little tall, so I'm not going to fit this way. So this board slides out, and the cushion goes right on top, and we sleep with our heads at the back and our feet forward. All right, let's go to the back. And we have one of my favorite things, which is our Michelin Metalworks hammock stand, which I lounge in most days. And then I also have all of our gear. We have our bikes, our stand-up paddleboard, our leveling blocks, power, all of our camping supplies. And I didn't talk about window covers, but they're up there too. So thanks for coming to my van tour. Hi everyone, I'm Jess, and this is my 2017 Mercedes Sprinter 4x4 edition.
All right, well, that's about how it's gonna go. So any questions, just shoot them into the chat. Do you miss having a shower? Well, I mean, no. So here's our thinking on it. If you put a shower in, that means you also have to have room for the shower volume of water, and then you have to have the room for the gray water collection of the shower water, and then you need space. So space is being taken up in your van, and then also water heater if you want it to be a comfortable shower. So these demands just were like too high for us. And with the 144, we were already packing a lot in with the stationary work area. So that's one of the major reasons that we didn't do a shower. And showers, honestly, like it's one of the top questions in van life, but we don't think about it much. We either go for a swim in the summer, have a solar shower bag that we use out the back of the van. Campgrounds, we can always stay at a campground and use those. And honestly, there's a lot of really nice people in this country. So we've been fortunate to use their showers. So no, I don't miss that. What else do we got over here? Oh, when it's working, the Nature's Head. Oh, who else has Nature's Head composting toilets? Just raise your hands. Yeah. So as you know, like it's a delicate ecosystem. So we use well, there's a few options. You can use coconut coir, you can use sphagnum peat moss, you can even just use regular soil or sawdust. So it typically will vent out of the van. And if you have the right ratio of medium in there before things get going into that container, you should be good. For us, our mileage is we get about a month of usage out of it before we have to change it. And if it starts smelling, that's basically, you either need to dump it completely or you need more soil. There wasn't enough soil in there. Yeah, so that's a great question. We get that one a lot. And the month is just for the solids, the liquids, which are separated. They obviously have to be changed more often. I'd say for me, about 2 to 3 days. And then, oh, pro tip, we keep a bottle of 30% vinegar with a little bit of essential oils in it as our flusher. So that's my pro tip on the toilets there. Hammock, everybody asks about the hammock. That's from McLean Metalworks. It's honestly just like one guy and his wife in Seattle, and it's just a small business. And yeah, it's a cool company. So definitely recommend their products. Fully recommend them. Heating system. We do have a heating system. We did have a propane, like a traditional RV furnace that was like hardwired and mounted in and vented. And after, I don't know, about 2.5 or 3 years of using that, it kind of petered out. And so we did replace it with I'm totally blanking about the diesel heater under the seat, the SBAR D2. And that one is kind of hard to install, but there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. So YouTube University will help you out on that one. The bed. So the foot annex is what we call it. And I'll tell you what, this was a complete afterthought. We had really hoped that we could sleep sideways in the bed. But nobody was sleeping well. You know, I wanted the diagonal and my husband got the little pizza slice. And so we were just really unhappy like every day. And we're like, why are we so unhappy? It's like, we're not sleeping. So the solution for this, because we had already like welded our bed frame, was that we took a 4x4 sheet of plywood, and it essentially is cantilevered underneath of the mattress. So you just pull it out halfway and the weight of the mattress holds the board down. So it's a simple solution, maybe not super elegant, but it definitely works for us. Awesome.
We do have a lot of questions coming in, and we want to make sure we get to all the participants. So I think maybe room for one more question. Which one? How about the question that we want to ask everybody, which is, what do you wish you had done differently and why?
Oh, I'm like looking at my husband, Mike. He's sitting right here too. What would we have done differently? So I will tell you one thing is that we recently upgraded to lithium. Our first van, we had lead acid, like flooded lead acid cells. We upgraded to AGM when we built this second van. And after about 2 years, those batteries they just wouldn't hold a charge anymore. So our fridge was dying every night. The lights wouldn't stay on at night. So I think the best upgrade we've done is lithium. And we didn't do it because it's so freaking expensive. And then eventually we had to bite the bullet. It was way too difficult to live without it, to be honest. Thank you, Bree. Awesome. So let me go back to my order here. Okay. All right. Justin and Liz, y'all are next. I know you can't necessarily see what's happening, but I'm going to start playing your video now.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. There we go.
Hey guys, I'm Justin and this is our Storyteller Overland Stealth Mode. We have a couple 100 watts of solar up top that could be expanded to 800 or so, and a very rugged roof rack by Frontrunner.
All right, as Justin comes down from the roof, I'm going to take you around the front of our van. My name is Liz, and I'm carrying our baby Aroa, who is 1 year old. We've got a cool feature on our prototype van of output power, which will come in handy because our house has lost power due to the fires in NorCal. Here's our shore power plug. We've got our gray tank out here, which holds about 21 gallons, city water and tank hookup. Our freshwater tank holds about 21 gallons of water. You'll see jumping out there is our flare space, which allows us to sleep sideways in our van and get some more room inside. Here's our mountain bikes on our one-up rack, which comes in handy. And our Girard awning out here. And it's got some lights out there, which we use very frequently. The awning can take up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. We have tested it, and it has done really well. Our fold-out table here with the induction stove, and we just plug it right in.
All right, let's check out the inside. Aroa, you want to show us?
Here's our bug screens, which are magnetic. Here's the fridge. You can access it from the outside. It makes things really easy when you go to the grocery store. Let's go inside. Here's our power panel up here. We've got a 1,000 amp hour lithium battery with a 3,600 watt inverter, 8,000 watt second alternator, which allows us to charge while we're driving. It only takes an hour or two to charge back all the way up, and we can be off grid for days at a time. Here's our AC unit, which is back there. With the baby, it really comes in handy to be able to control our temperature, and we can run it for hours. We've also got our heating right here. Big selling point for the van was the Groove Lounge. It can turn into a bed for one adult or two kids. It's got 3-point seat belts. It's crash tested, so we really feel confident having the baby travel with us. It can also turn into a couch or a lounge where you can kind of prop your head up and look out the back or out the front of the van. We've got our galley here, some plugs. We've got a lot of plugs throughout, which makes things really easy to charge. Our fan and our microwave, which is actually really powerful. It's more powerful than the one we have at home. Makes things really convenient for cooking. Here's our cabinets. All of them are locking. Really great build quality on these. So here is our shower actually on the inside. You just pull this guy out and it creates a halo. The curtain goes into our wash basin here. Right now we have our toilet. The toilet you can move wherever you need to. Here's our bed. We have half of it down right now because it makes it easy for us to change diapers. And we can take this off and it becomes just more counter space. Here's our garage with our L-track system so we can set up our bike mounts. We've got our pack and play with the blackout shades so we can still do things in the van while she's sleeping. And here's our window shades.
All right, guys, that was our tour. Have a great one. See you later.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for sending that in.
Sure, no problem. Sorry we can't be there in person right now.
No problem. Look, well, we have a few questions, so we're glad you're here. It looks like Hillary is asking, where did you get those magnetic bug screens?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say mechanic, just magnetic.
What was the magnetic what? We didn't hear that.
Bug screens.
Oh, so Storyteller makes these custom for the mode. So they provided those directly.
Awesome. Okay, and you're getting another question here. Why Storyteller versus the Winnebago Revel? This is actually a great question.
Yeah, that is a great question. So Storyteller has some of the best build quality I've seen. Since they make the same footprint, the same layout of the van for all of their models, it just comes off the shelf this way, and but it's the exact layout that we had been looking for like over a year, right, Babe? It was like we had been looking for our perfect van, and we had spec'd it out like custom, and it was much more expensive than what Storyteller is.
Right, and also from the shower piece, so Storyteller's roll-up shower gives us a lot more room in the galleyway. And the last I checked, the Revel had a shower stall, so it felt a little more kind of like compact.
Just closed in, and just the build quality was a big difference for us. It just feels a lot more robust, a lot more durable in the Storyteller, and honestly, it just looks nicer to us.
Did you test drive a Revel or anything like that?
We actually did. Yeah, we test drove both of them. It just felt also that the Storyteller, there wasn't as much noise just driving down the normal street or at highway speeds. To us, that meant the build quality would last longer.
Yeah, that's good insights. We have another question. Please tell me more about the lounger seat with seat belts. Was that aftermarket? Who installed it?
Actually, Storyteller designed and got it built themselves. They crash tested it well beyond standards of the van. Something that Liz looked into, and I did too, for as a large selling point. The last I checked, and maybe the Revels updated their seat now, but to have 2 3-point seat belts that are crash tested meant a lot to us, knowing we were going to have a baby this year.
Yeah, and she's adorable. I'm really glad she was a part of that video.
She's a ham.
Let's see, best way to finance an expensive van like Overland?
I think, well, that's a good question. I think you can just finance from the dealer. So La Mesa carries the Storyteller Overland extensively around the country, one of their dealers, and you can finance it through them.
So one of the, I know this is like a topic for a lot of people, but one of the pluses of getting a Storyteller Overland van or a manufactured RV versus a DIY or an upfit vehicle is that you can finance it with an RV loan. An RV loan can get up to 15 years, which is very different from a car. For an upfit, you have to get either a personal loan or pay in cash. They're very difficult to finance, if not impossible for most people. So that is one of the benefits of getting like a manufactured RV.
Yeah, thanks for that ad. We have some power questions. So the Storyteller Overland van has a lot of pretty heavy draw equipment, like a induction stove, microwave, and air conditioner. Can you just talk us through a little bit how your solar how it handles all that, and just a little bit more about it?
Right, so we don't rely on the solar as the number one source of power or charge. We rely on the secondary alternator, which is quite robust. So we'll find ourselves out off the grid for like 2 to 4 days, I'd say. Rarely running the air conditioning, but we do occasionally, like Liz was saying earlier. And we don't run out of power, given how much of power is already in the Storyteller. The solar panels are there just kind of as a backup, or if you want to add more, if you're into that. But we found we haven't really relied on them, to be honest with you. Driving for an hour or two, which is easily accomplished when we're running low on battery, it brings it all back to 100% really quickly. So the Volta system that Storyteller houses and puts in all of their vans, boy, we were really impressed with it, and it served us well for a while now.
Yeah, it gives me a ton of confidence. After going off grid for many days, and we've gone on quite a few trips, multi-state, I just really never worry about about what power we're at. I mean, we have it, you know, front and center in the van, but I honestly don't worry about it. Like I feel so confident just being able to go out and be free, and because you know we move around and the battery charges up super fast.
Right, and it lasts a long time.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, I think we have enough for 2 more questions. One is, do you have enough space sleeping sideways with the bubble windows, or is it still tight?
Yeah, so we've measured it and had at some of the shows our van has been at. I think a guy 6'5" or maybe 6'6" fit at the farthest to the back of the van, which were the flare space are the widest. Liz is taller than me. She's 5'10", has no problem. I'm 5'7", and I could have plenty of room.
Yeah, because
That's good to know. I've always wondered about that.
Yeah, me too. We looked into them for a little bit, but then I was just like, you know, I'm 5'11", like how much extra space could it be? So yeah, that's good feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, and it seems to give us a lot of space in the galley, walking into vans that you don't sleep sideways. And we appreciate that getting the 144 Sprinter.
Mm-hmm. And
Go
ahead.
So I'm, like Justin said, I'm 5'10". I actually sleep on the side of like the shorter end of the flare space, and I have like at least a few inches to spare, just FYI.
Awesome.
Cool.
And
we have so many great questions. It's like killing me not to be able to get to them, because like I'm curious about them too, but unfortunately we cannot. I have one last question, and FYI, I'm going to ask everybody this. What is the one thing you would do differently next time around, or you wish you would have done differently?
We've been thinking about that for a while now, and haven't come up with a good answer to that. I feel like for our situation with the one baby and what we do with the van and where we go, the Storyteller has met all of our criteria and more. So I hope, well, maybe I don't hope, but hope to find the answer to that question down the road, maybe, and give Storyteller that feedback. But boy, this mode has been amazing, and we just love the stealth mode look. It's all blacked out, and so it's got the whole package to us.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you so much for sharing it with us today and for answering all these questions.
Yeah, and if there was a lot of other questions, I mean, we're totally open to show the van to people in person, or we can answer questions through Instagram. You just DM us. Redbeard Payne is me, and Liz Payne is Liz. I would be happy to answer those questions directly. Yeah.
So Redbeard Payne, I'm going to jot these in the chat for everyone. And then Liz, what was yours?
Liz.Payne.
Cool.
And it's spelled P-A-N-E, like window pane.
Did I do it? Yeah, I think I got it right. Good. Okay, good. Thank you so much. So going next, we're going to go to Candace. And there you are. Hi, Candace.
Hi.
So this is going to be a little different than the videos, because we just wanted to make sure we had the right look at her beautiful home. So if you are looking in gallery view right now, I would recommend changing it to speaker view so that your screen enlarges. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Candace, if you want to do a little intro and then a little van tour.
Awesome, sure. So my name is Candace. I'm from Houston, Texas. And this is my 2019 Ram ProMaster. I got it converted during the pandemic, and it is the shortest wheelbase. My mom actually purchased this van for me as a Christmas gift to encourage me to go and, you know, just really enjoy my life and travel. So this here is my sink, and I have a marine pump, and that is how I get my water. I just pump this from a 6-gallon tub. I actually keep 2 of those, so I keep 12 gallons with me at any time. And then it comes here through this faucet. So my water system is very easy and to the point. This here is my sitting station, just in case I have friends who come over. this moves because I never wanted to give up my storage space. And under here is where I keep linens and towels and things like that. I also keep, this is my portable toilet. I just wanted something that was as simple as possible because I travel with my German Shepherd Cleo. So anything that is less time consuming is best for me. This is my bed. I have my ukulele and things like that. Also under here, I decided to put these two little squares because I wanted to optimize storage. So in here is where I keep electronics, and I may keep like clothes and things like that there. Here is where I keep my food, things like that. I also juice while I'm on the road. So I keep my juicer and things as well. Now, one thing as far as electricity, because my van was converted so quickly, it was converted in about 3 weeks. And I didn't want to spend so much money on electricity. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on just things that I didn't have the time to do a lot of research with. So my lighting and my electricity is very simple. My lighting are LED lights, and they're lifetime warranty, and you can just tap them and they come on by remote control or by timer. As far as how I charge everything in my van, this is my Nexus power station, and all I have to do is just turn this on, and it gives me about 88 hours. That lasts me at least 2 weeks to charge my laptop, my drone, my phone, all of those things. And this is the back of my van. I have so much room and so much space. So it's fit directly for my bike if I ever decided to take these things out and put my bike underneath. This is more storage for all of my clothes, if you guys can see how far all of that goes back. So I pretty much just wanted to make sure that I did not compromise any space, and that I utilized as much storage as I possibly could, and also maintain the integrity of not spending, thousands and thousands of dollars on my van build. I basically hired a local contractor who, charged me a small amount of money, and he did a very, very good job. So I used what I had. My mom bought my van for me. Thank you, Mama. She's actually on here now. And I just made sure that I paid attention to what I needed instead of getting caught up in the comparisons on Instagram. And I have the space, I have the storage, I have the toilet. If I need to shower, I use my solar shower that I just hang up in the back as well.
Thank you so much, Candace. That's beautiful.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we really appreciate you opening your home to us. Already a lot of questions coming in. Number one, you're gonna have to name that power station again.
Yes, so it's called the Ego Nexus Power Station, and it holds 88 hours of power. So I can charge everything, my microwave, I plug it all up, and it takes about 10 hours to fully charge, but it lasts me at least 2 weeks. So yeah, my juicer, my blender, all of those things, I just plug it up there.
Wow, that's actually a lot of power. Do you know the amp or watt of the inverter?
I don't.
Okay. That's okay. Let's see. There's so many good
I think
questions.
one thing, Candace, that I love that you said is that you wanted to build a van that fit within your budget instead of comparing yourself with Instagram. And I think that's a huge thing. I think too many people try to build their dream van and they never do.
Yeah.
So yeah, and your electrical setup, a lot of people don't know that the electrical is probably the most expensive part of the van, and you can fulfill the same purpose with your unit
Yeah.
and a foot pump.
Yeah, for sure. And that was one of the main things is when I was looking at Instagram, it was so exciting. But when it came time to plan everything, it was very overwhelming. And I just had to get very honest with myself and say, but what works for me? What can I deal with as far as lighting? I'm okay with pressing my lights up and they come on and they can be timed and dimmed and all kind of different things. So it's just really getting honest with what works for me. I'm traveling with my dog as well. So it's very important that things are very easy for me.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned the dog. It sounds like some people have some questions. Do you have any pro tips for traveling with a dog?
I do. My biggest tip is to really accept the fact that the journey is just not yours, that it is your dog's journey too, and really take pride in making sure that whatever beautiful experience you want, you make sure your dog gets that same experience. So if Cleo can't go, then I can't go. And that is really how I maneuver in my van with my dog. It is really about both of us. I want her to have the same quality of life that I have. And that's my biggest tip, is just sharing that journey with her.
Yeah, that's beautiful. There's actually a question for your mom, and it says, does your mom want to adopt me?
You know, I am the only child, so I don't know if I would want to share.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Let's see. Do you have some sort of shower curtain set up?
So I do. I have a blackout curtain, and whenever I'm getting ready to shower, you know, I just position myself in a way that no one is around, and then I just hang it up in the back, and then I proceed to shower. Yeah.
And then I guess following on to privacy, you have a lot of windows. Do you like
Yeah.
having all those windows?
I do. I am very much like a free spirit. So I love the sun. I love being outdoors in nature. So when I wake up, I love to wake up to the sun or go to sleep watching the sunset. And just to have privacy, I just created reflectics that are in black material. And I have magnets that hold them up. So at nighttime before I go to sleep, I always put up my windshields.
Yeah, that's a great solution. The magnets.
Yeah.
How about you mentioned that you have like puck lights, it sounds like.
Yes.
What kind of lights are those?
Those are LED puck lights. I believe they were about $79. And I think 8 or 9 came in the pack. And they come with the remote control to where you have like 4 different settings of how light you want it or how dim you want it. You can time them or anything like that. Yeah.
And are those battery operated, or do they plug into your power station?
They're battery operated. Yeah, they're battery operated. I've had them for about 4 months now. So I know that there's a lifetime. That's what the package says. But I mean, it's not expensive to replace those for $70. Yeah.
It sounds like you have some fans on here too. I don't know if you're seeing the chat because you're on your phone, but we have one person saying the reason I'm on this Zoom is because of Candace. She's my inspiration.
Hey y'all. I'm grateful.
Let's see. Oh, your Instagram handle. Yeah, let me put that in the chat. What is that?
Instagram is my first name, Candace, CANDYSS .love. That is my Instagram, and that is my email, and that is also my YouTube as well.
Yeah. So go give her a follow. Candace, you're a big inspiration for our team too. Every time you post something, we're just drooling over it. So
I'm great. Really grateful for your support too.
We're glad you're here. Let's see. Any last questions? Bree, you want to shoot yours off?
Yeah, if you could do something differently, what do you wish it was? Or what do you wish you would have done differently now that you have, yeah, that question.
That I wish I did was put in the roof ventilation system. and I was such in a rush and just ready to go. And I was just like, oh, well, it won't really matter. And then Cleo and I got to the desert, and I was like, oh, well, it would have been really nice to have that at this time. So that's pretty much it. And that is on the list to get done in the next few weeks.
Awesome. Well, it's not too late for that.
No,
Awesome build.
thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Well, thank you for sharing it today, Candace.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see. Moving next, we have Royce from Fantastic Parks. Do you want to say hi real quick, and then I'll play your video?
Hi, everybody. My name's Royce, and my IG is Fantastic Parks, and then my other one's in here. So I made just a simple video really fast to share with you all. It's not super detailed, but feel free to ask any questions.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to start a screen share. And there we go.
Hey everybody, my name is Royce. I am a 2019 Ford Transit mid-length high roof owner, and I'm going to show you the inside of my van. The exterior is not done yet. I have a wrap that I'm going to get on there, as well as some racks. I did just get some new tires there this week, so that's exciting. I can share that. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Peace. So this is the exterior of the van. It's going to be wrapped. These are the tires I just got. I had a lot of questions about them. They do fit, nice rims, no lift, so it looks really good. So going inside, this table folds down so I can cook outside. I use a jet boil, so I like to cook outside. And then this is the inside. So sleeping area, this is all my power, oops. And then this is where all my cook stuff is and my food. Keep everything in there, my cups here. And then this area is my desk. This is a Harbor Freight toolbox that we modified into a desk. All these drawers are locked and they won't open unless this opens. And then this also locks. Since I'm a photographer, I have to have things that lock up. So it's very important to me. This is my camera gear. I kind of just store it everywhere I can. And then that's my partner in crime there. So then we have the sleeping area. In the closet is just where I keep all my clothes, everything that I need, all those essential things. I have a few decorative items. And then under here, this is where my portable toilet is and my fridge. And then I'll show you the back area in a second. And then I have a laundry bag I keep under there too. So easy. So that's it. That's the inside. And then the front area, I have a hook to keep my jackets, and then my trash bag is there. So this is the under area. And so I have a Stanley toolbox to keep all of my gear. Since I photograph a lot of products, I have to keep a lot of products with me. So I have all of that here, my toolbox, my water container, and I keep this area open because that's where my solar batteries are. And so, yeah, that's the back area. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the van. I'm very proud of it. My dad and I built it. We had a builder do the solar part, but then my dad and I have done the rest. So it's definitely been a memorable and meaningful experience. Yeah, so enjoy your day. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Royce, for sharing your van with us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we have some questions coming in. Where are we at? Let's see. Toolbox, great idea for the toolbox. Do you want to comment on that part?
Yeah, that was super important because of my camera gear. And we just by chance went to Harbor Freight, and they have like 7 colors of toolboxes like that. And they had the white one, so it was perfect. So my dad modified it and cut the bottom off to make it fit in the van. And then we just decided to make it a desk, and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's a very clever solution. So you added a tabletop to it, or did it already have the butcher block on it?
Oh, we added it to it and just bolted it down, and then it doesn't hit the wall at all when it comes up. So it's really nice.
And is that on hinges, or do you have it hold open somehow, or do you kind of have to lift it yourself?
It's on hinges. It'll stay open when I open it. So, yeah.
Great. You're getting a lot of photographer comments if you check those. Nice van. And what's your IG handle for everyone?
So my van IG is at Vantastic Parks. And then my normal IG is at CA Sunshine 0508. That's my photography one.
Okay, looks like Barb already got that one in the chat for you.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to tell us a little bit about your cooking setup. You mentioned a jet boil. Is that the only way that you cook?
Yeah, so I don't eat a whole lot. So pretty much like borderline vegan. And I just heat up water to have like oats and stuff like that in the morning and, you know, tea or whatever, and then just kind of snack throughout the day. So really the only time I have to cook is when I have friends, and that's what all my cook gear is for. So when they come over, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then, so what's your best jet boil meal recipe that you'd share with everyone?
Well, I do have a steamer, and it makes really good rice and vegetables. So that's probably my favorite thing. And it's actually made by Fire Maple, but it's like the most amazing device ever.
And that goes on your jet boil?
It's like a jet boil. It has its own burner. It's like the same size. And it's, you just put it in your pack and just take a bag of rice and vegetables, and you can totally make a meal like anywhere you go. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great solution.
It's made by Fire Maple.
Thank you. And do you have a sink? Did we miss that?
No sink. I have like a portable wash tub. I kind of thought maybe I should put a sink in, but right now it's just a portable wash tub, so it's fine.
Yeah. And so I'm going to ask Bree's question. Is there anything that you do differently about your build?
So two things. One, I would make the bed bigger, only because I have a friend that's 6'3" and they don't fit. So I would definitely make the bed bigger, and then I would put a second fan in. Just having the one above the bed is nice because it blows the air on you, but for ventilation purposes, I feel that second one is really important. So I would have done that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And I think there's been some chat about ventilation already today too. Do you have any windows in the van, and do they open if so?
Just the back windows, they do not open. I was trying to keep everything very secure and private.
Absolutely. Do you travel with friends?
Yes. I travel alone all the time, but I meet up with a lot of friends, a lot of photographers. So we do a lot of adventures and meet up with people.
Awesome.
One thing that I saw that I've seen a few people do, but not as many as you'd think, is repurpose furniture for the van. So like buy furniture from like Home Depot or IKEA or somewhere and put it in the van. I know you did it with your toolboxes. Did you do it with anything else? And would you recommend it?
Yeah, actually, the cabinets where my cookware is, it's just the basic Home Depot cabinets, and we painted them and made our own countertops. And then the closet is from Lowe's. My dad just installed that. So those two things came from those places, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, and kind of goes along with the, like, how do you make this affordable and accessible? Is if you're not a builder, right? Like, it's a great option.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, we have time for one more question if people want to throw anything in there. Otherwise, I can ask, oh, we got one. I was going to ask another one, but do you consider the weight added by the cabinet? So was weight something that you considered as you built?
I did. I was actually very concerned because the majority of the weight is on one side of the van. And I had some concern, but we looked at it and there doesn't seem to be any issues with it at the moment. So, but it is something that I'm just trying to keep track of with higher stuff.
Mm-hmm. And have you weighed your van?
No, my dad took it and took care of it. So I'm not really sure what happened there. He said everything's fine. Like, okay.
Well, that sounds like a great person to have in your life.
Yeah, totally.
And okay, what I'm going to do opposite question of Bree's. What's an essential must-have component of your van?
Besides water, uh, water is huge. I think really that's about it. Like that's the one thing I always have to make sure I have enough of, especially because we travel so much in the desert that I bought extra water containers and found that we ran out of it really quickly just for showers and washing dishes and stuff. So I just think it's really important to make sure that you have enough with you.
Mm-hmm. How much water do you typically carry at a time? Do you have tanks or like jugs?
The 2 10-gallon jugs, and then I usually have some other 2-gallon jugs with me as well. And with my friends, they each bring 2 10-gallons as well.
Awesome. You're very practical. I really like that about you. Well, Royce, thank you so much for sharing your home. We are at our time for this segment, so we really appreciate you sharing the video and being here today to tell us more about your build.
While you're pulling up the next one, Jess, I will say I've seen a lot of questions about how we make money on the road, and if you're full-time, how do you travel full-time and stuff like that. We did do another Meetup Monday just on this subject, and I will have somebody share it in the link because I'm not that quick with my fingers. So I will have somebody chat it. Someone on my team, please chat it in the box.
It's actually on our YouTube. It is up there on the YouTube, so it's available. Let's see. All right, Hillary, we're going to you next. Where are you? Do you want to say hi real quick?
Sure. I do. I say hi in my video, but I'll say hi again. Can you guys see me?
We can.
Oh, okay. I can't see me. That's weird. I'm Hillary. I drive a 1999 Ford E250. Oh, sorry. Weird angle. And yeah, I've been on the road for 3 months full time now. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, well, let's go to the tour without any further ado. Here we go.
Hey guys, my name's Hillary and I drive a 1999 Ford E250 van that used to be a Holiday Inn shuttle bus. So this is it. It's very green, retro yellow stripe, missing hubcap to build character. This was a very budget build, and I want to say around $2,000 total. It took my dad and I about 5 months to build and had a lot of help from my parents. So over here are some drawers that pull out where I keep my cooking utensils, chargers, things like that. And the drawers actually also pull out on this side, so I don't have to be outside to use them. It's very convenient. This is my stove. It originally came with those smaller green propane tanks, but I didn't want to have to deal with constantly changing those, so we changed the connection to a 20-pound propane tank and secured that very well in the bench frame there. That's where I keep my cooking supplies, fire extinguisher. This is my fridge. I don't have an actual fridge, it's just a cooler. This is where I can charge my items. I have an inverter, a fuse box, cigarette lighter, and that tells me how much charge of my batteries I have, so it's super convenient. Down here is my toiletries drawer. Here's my sink. It doesn't have a drain, but I can just pull this out to empty it, and I pump that to get my water. It's connected to a water cooler jug back there. You can't really see it. This is my kitchen pantry. Let me take a step back here. And it was actually built by a childhood friend's dad, who's an incredible woodworker. So it has just a lot of sentimental value. I mean, this whole van is just such a memory, a scrapbook of memories, because my dad and I just, you know, had such a good time building it out together. And also terrible time, but like, you know, in a bonding great way. So this is my pantry items. This drawer slides out like that, and that's where I keep my utensils. And this is the bench to bed conversion, all made by my father. And I keep, you know, supplies under here, clothes, food, whatever I need. These actually
came with the original Holiday Inn shuttle bus design. So that's super cool to still have these. And then this slides out like that. Pop it in there. And this ends up being like a huge bed and it's very comfortable. Hard to do while I'm holding my phone, but you get the idea. And up here, I have a ceiling fan, which has been amazing, and ceiling lights. And that is my van in a nutshell.
All right, thank you for sharing that.
Watching that just made me realize how like hyper I was in that. Wow. That was very...
We were inspired by the rush one. A lot of love on the two-sided drawer. How did you consider that or figure that one out?
I got to give my dad credit on that design, but he just, you know, he's had a lot of experience traveling himself, and he knows the inconveniences that you run into, like traveling on the road. So he foresaw that right away. Just the idea being that if I wanted to cook outside, I could easily grab things outside to use my grill. And then actually I can just pull out the drawers too. And because they have those ropes that go throughout the whole length of the drawer, I could use it as like a little tool carrier or like a picnic basket. Yeah, so.
That's so clever. The other clever thing was the sink. Where did you get that sink is the question, and they love it.
Yeah, well, that sink came from the basement of my parents' house. I wish I could tell you more details. Just, you know, years of collecting random things, but it is stainless steel. So it is a very high, like a very quality sink. And we did consider putting a drain into it and doing it that way, but similar to Candace, I was also extremely eager to get on the road, so I didn't want to deal with the drain and the water system and stuff, and I said it's fine if I just have to lift this out and manually dump it each time, and it really hasn't been that inconvenient.
Yeah, and actually a few comments are coming in saying that it looks like a catering service tray, like almost like at what they put in, like the Chipotle, the food in Chipotle.
I truly think those could work. And I did look around Amazon and eBay at some of those things to get a ballpark for how much they normally cost. They can be pricey, but but they can also not be pricey. So there's a lot of range there.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you found it too. You know, I think anytime you can repurpose something, it's always better.
Yeah.
So why full-time bed or convertible bed? What made you choose the convertible bed?
I knew I would be working remotely, and I really wanted to have a place that I could work at, basically. You know, they say the only thing you should do in your bed is sleep. So I felt it was important to have that workspace. That being said, yeah, my bed is pretty much always in bed mode now. So, but it's still great having that option.
Yeah, and it seems really, like, I was impressed that you were able to pull that out with one hand while you were recording your video. So it seems really well done.
Yeah, my dad is a rock star.
There's a lot of great family on this call today. This is wonderful. Yeah, Royce is saying our dads would get along.
Definitely.
So how about your electric system? Do you have an electric system? What does that look like?
Yeah, so again, thanks to my dad, he's actually an electrical engineer, so he just went to town on that design. And yeah, it's all connected, like the ceiling lights, and I have a light underneath the kitchen cabinet, and those are all connected to 2 deep cycle batteries. And those batteries charge off of the van battery when it's running, but it is set up so that, like, if they die, it doesn't kill the van battery. And we did already do one replacement because I was on the road for maybe, yeah, like 2.5 months and the batteries were already losing charge. So we replaced them like just a couple weeks ago and it's been great.
Yeah, batteries can be a headache, for sure.
I actually have a quick question. I know a lot of people here had help from a family member or their dad, and I am wondering if you didn't have your dad able to help you, and you had to figure it out on your own. Now that you're on the road, do you think you would have done it on your own?
No, definitely not. In fact, I bought this van already built out with the intention of hitting the road, but my dad looked at it from a mechanical perspective and had some issues with it. And then we ended up just like getting really wrapped up in build out ideas and gutting it. So yeah, I would have just done, like I even added some of these for my own use and I would have just done that myself, or just bought a van that was already built out.
Awesome. So you still would have done it. You just would have done it a little bit differently without the
Yes. Yeah, I guess
skill.
so. Yeah.
How many miles did this van have when you bought it?
170,000. It was a lot. I really went into this not expecting to do full time and not knowing how I was gonna like it. So I was like, you know, it was a $6,000 van. I thought, okay, if, you know, all goes to hell and it's terrible, I'm not going to be totally broke from this. I'll, you know, get a taste for it. And then it just kind of evolved into this like full commitment and then this bonding project over 5 months with my dad. And I wouldn't have it any other way now. But going into it, I'm a very cautious person. So I was like, you know, this van had a lot of miles, but the price tag was right for me.
Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, we have a couple more questions. Do you have a dash cam for security or do you want to get one?
I don't have one and my mom really wants me to get one. I don't have any desire to get one actually. I mean, the accidents happen, things like that. It would be smart for me to have one, but like where I choose to camp, how I secure my van and all these things, I'm very cautious about those things. So I feel good about that.
Yeah.
But obviously accidents happen, so.
Mm-hmm. I'll just chime in. We don't have a dash cam, but we have just a canary cam. It's like a home security system. And honestly, that was just to give us temperature alerts for the dog, or like motion detection. But yeah, there's quite a few options if people are interested in those types of things. I think Owl Cam is like a 4G LTE connected cam. Okay, another question for you, Hillary. What important things did you get adjusted mechanically or tires, etc.? Teresa is asking this because she also has a 2001 with the same miles.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I won't lie. There was like $3,000 worth of work that went into this. We had the front brakes, the rear brake lines completely redone. The exhaust manifold bolts were snapped, and that can cause exhaust leaks and stuff. So that was a really expensive fix. What else? I got the windshield replaced. There was a crack in that. Tires are actually the same as the ones that came on the van when I got it. They're in decent condition. The suspension was adjusted. But overall, this van is a tank. I mean, I'm like the third van lifer to own it, and it's been to Guatemala, it's been to Canada, it's just been all over the place, and it's going strong.
Wow, awesome. Well, I'm getting a cue from my team that I need to wrap this up. Hillary, thank you so much. We really appreciate you opening your home to us today. And last question, what's your IG handle for us to put into the chat?
It is green.van.go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we are going to go over to Val and Nuri. Are y'all here today? I'm not sure. Val and Nuri, are you here? I'm like trying to scroll through everybody. Okay. All right. I don't think they're here, so I might just, if I'm wrong, just send a comment, but I'm going to move on to Ange. Ange, are you here? Let me see. Wow, okay. Maybe it's getting late. I know on the East Coast, things are getting kind of late. This is Adventure Big Blue. I'll just say the Instagram name just in case. Okay. I don't know. What do you think? Should we watch them or?
Let's go to the people who are here, and if we have time afterwards, we'll get to those. Another thing, I'd love everybody's feedback on this, but one thing we're thinking about is doing some van tours on the side, like doing some IG lives and interviewing people. I know on this meetup, we don't have time to ask everybody all of the questions that we really want to ask everybody, and it's killing me. So now I'm like, we have to do more IG lives. Looks like people are liking it. So I'm gonna take it into consideration, and we will most likely go ahead with it.
Yeah, IG Lives. Okay. All right. So Ayana, I just got yours. I didn't download it yet, so I'm gonna try streaming it, and I hope that this works. is what I'm gonna say right now.
Yeah, so sorry everybody, my video was super long, so I edited it choppy and sent it in last minute. But I'm traveling full-time in my 1998 Thomas Freightliner with my husband and my dog, and we've been in it for about a year.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you again for that last minute edit. We saw it and we were like, oh, we really want to show it, but it's so long. So, okay, here's the thing, y'all. Let me make this bigger for you, and here we go.
Slides out, and there's a long table here that we can show you. This entire piece lifts up. Tons of storage. We actually have more storage in this bus than I feel like we had in our condo in Miami. Here is our office area. So this table folds up and down, and then we have our cork wall, which we keep our calendar to keep ourselves as organized as we can. So here's our kitchen. We have our double sink, and then one of my favorite parts of the kitchen are all of the mason jars holding all of our goods like lentils and flour and shredded coconut. We have a lot of things in here from our travels. So this is this amazing mask that we found in Tulum. As you come through the kitchen, we have an electric cooktop now that we'll be replacing with a propane cooktop. The 2-burner, we tried it, we cooked too much, we need a 4-burner. Our spice racks. This is actually our oven. For people who are wondering what to do about an oven, we didn't want to have a full-size oven for like heating purposes, just making it too hot in the bus. This is an oven by Omnia. It's incredible. It sits right on top of a grill or a cooktop or a propane. And we make a ton of stuff in here, so we love it. Another cool feature, cutting board that slides right out. We also took crates and repurposed them, so we keep wine, bread, and vegetables. We picked up a 10 cubic foot refrigerator from Best Buy. John built a awesome little closet that keeps like our brooms and our chairs for our little office. There's a folding tray in there. We have tons of storage up here for dry food. This pantry also pulls out. And again, we have so much storage in this bus. As you move into the back of the bus, so there's going to be a door here that's going to separate the front from the back. We built our own composting toilet. We keep peat moss behind it. And then we have this awesome little window in our bathroom, and we keep our Love Bee air fresheners in here. We have lavender and blood orange and rose, and I highly suggest these for keeping all smells out of the bus. So in our bathroom suite area, we actually picked up this bowl at Walmart, and John cut a hole in it. And then we have our waterfall sink, our waterfall faucet. And then he built this really cool triangle shaped cabinet vanity area. We also custom built our medicine cabinet so that the shelves fit everything that we need. And we added wallpaper onto our ceiling. So the front has one wallpaper, the bathroom has this tropical wallpaper, and then the bedroom has its own separate wallpaper. So there will be a door here, again separating the front of the bus from the back of the bus, and this entire area is the bathroom. So the shower room is here, you've seen the sink. This will all be tiled. Right now it's backer board, and this will be a tiled area. This area that you see is going to be our shower and bathtub that we're sinking into the floor. So we're adding a skylight above into this emergency exit that came obviously with the bus. Because we did that floor raise, there's a 6-inch gap in the floor. And so the tub will sink into here. We use PEX piping for plumbing throughout the bus. And so this is one of our shower lines. And so this will also be completely closed in. Another one of our sponsors is Nebbia by Moen. And so we're going to be installing.
We gotta cut off.
That was as good as I could do.
Yeah. All right, well, let's put your IG handle in there just so people.
Oh, yeah.
That is so beautiful. I'm so glad that you were able to share your bus here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How many, do you know how many square feet it is?
Yeah, so we are 35 foot long. I think we're like 250 square feet.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. How long have you been working on the van, or like how long have you had it?
We purchased her, Eula May, I call her, in April of 2019. We moved in a month later when we had nothing but subfloor and an air mattress. And then we left where we were building in North Carolina in October. And so we've been full-time on the road since then.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. Sorry, there's a lot of things going on here. The jars, do they ever fall off? They look terrified.
No, they don't. The shelf is really well built into that wall, and the mason jars, the lids are secured, so you just take the jars out. But they actually don't budge. In fact, like I have a hard time sometimes getting them off. So
cool. Yeah, that's awesome. The oven, I have one of those Omnias as well, and
I love it. Yeah, I really love it. I'm really happy with it.
Cool. Let's see. Composting toilet. Do you have a post or something about that goes into details about how you built that, or do you want to explain it here maybe?
Yeah, I can explain it quickly. I think probably on my IG, when we did our build, we did a lot of taping and put it up on IG. So it really was a bucket, and he did a really beautiful build around the outside of the bucket, but we got a urine diverter on Etsy. It's just like a trash bag inside for solids, and we use peat moss in there. The toilet is then welded into a gray tank underneath. And we have like recyclable bags for the peat moss that we keep behind. Otherwise we dump, and then we can just clean it by taking the whole bag out and throwing it out. So it's really simple. It was a big size bucket. We don't have to mess with the liquids, and we use vinegar and a little lemon. No smell.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful solution. So that I know earlier people have been commenting that like the Nature's Head and the Airheads are pretty expensive. So it's kind of it's cool that you were able to build something that's probably a lot more affordable.
It was $75 and it looks really nice. Oh, we got our toilet seat from Lowe's. Like it's a soft close, nice seat.
Awesome. A lot of inspiration coming from this. Your vanity is awesome.
Oh, thanks.
So what is something that you couldn't live without in your bus build?
Our solar has been a godsend. We're with Go Power Solar, and we have 6 190 watt panels on our roof, and then 8 deep cycle batteries outside in a bank. We have really been able to, in the middle of a pandemic and a civil rights movement, be totally off grid. We both work full time and travel full time and are remote, and so we have to be able to have power, and we eat a lot and cook a lot, and our solar has run everything. I don't know how we could have made this trip without it. So
Yeah, perfect.
How is camping in your van? Like how is, or in your bus? How's the parking situation?
I mean, it's been good. Like, we did mostly BLM land. We don't really like RV parks. It's not really we did a lot of BLM land. Like in New Orleans, we found a street right outside the French Quarter and lived there for 2 months. I mean, like, we are good at finding side streets. And so we've been really lucky that way. We're in Massachusetts now and heading back out to Arizona for the winter, and we're going to be on BLM land. We kind of just do the middle of nowhere, or a side street, or a Walmart. I mean, we've done it all, but
Awesome.
we can't be as stealth as some of you, though. We're definitely like a big moving target.
Yeah.
Have you encountered any issues parking with it?
If you do go to my Instagram, you will see my blog. I've written a lot about what we've gone through with the civil rights movement and traveling. And so, yes, we have. That has become a concern. Before that, no. I mean, there's so many apps that I think are able to kind of tell you where to go and check things out beforehand. And every once in a while, we've been thrown out of a parking lot. But besides that, no.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. We are running towards the end of our time here, and we still have one more to go. So I appreciate the time that you took to edit the video and share with us, and the time you're taking with the Q&A. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, ladies, gals, I shouldn't say guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to break myself of that habit. Let me get to my screen here. And we are going to, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I didn't have this one up ready. Eric, Darby, are y'all still here? There you are, hi. Okay.
Here.
Excellent. Do you want to say hi before I start the video? I guess
Hi.
It's been great seeing everybody's vans. Our setup is not for full-time life, so it's gonna be a little different.
I think we could park inside a Sprinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did this in like 2 or 3 weeks to go on a trip. So it's kind of it's super new and super simple.
Okay, and let's go. Here we go. You should see my screen now.
Hi, I'm Eric.
I'm Amanda.
And this is our camper van. We live in San Francisco, and my favorite thing about the van is that it fits in our parking space. It's a 2015 Chevy Express, and basically built out as a weekender type camper build. So we've got a bed that slides out, a couple side panels that have our power, and we have stuff to place water and phones and things like that at night while we're charging. Some interior panels, and a pretty simple setup for a pretty simple little van. We have cooler and space for snacks and food and things to eat when we're on the road. This side is water and the stove. And when we travel, we usually have like paper towels and spices and things like that stored in here. And this module comes off.
Oh, there it is.
On the side of the van, or on top of the van, kayak rack built from a ladder rack. And then on the side we have an awning that pulls out about 6 or 8 feet. And that has a separate tent room. That's a big deal when we're in one place for a while. We can set that room up on the side, and that kind of becomes our living space. The van is just a fancy bedroom. For power system, we have a 700-watt inverter, and that runs into a deep cycle marine battery underneath. We don't have any solar. We're mostly going out for short trips or maybe a week at a time, so that's been plenty so far. In the back, we have a electrical panel up here that has switches for lights, LED strip lights, and a ventilation fan that's down on the other side of the bed. And we have USB and 12 volts and access for our fuses. So down here, there's a couple little brackets, one on each side. All I have to do is undo that screw on each side, and this whole section, which is about 47 inches wide, slides out. And then I have the full access to the inside of the cargo van. And this is the bed slide. That pulls out at night. Cushion pops in, and we have full 6-foot long beds, about 48 inches wide. Cushions on, a little bit of storage space left up front, lots of space underneath for all our camping gear, porta potty. We have curtains all the way around that we made. They're on magnetic catches, so we don't worry too much about stealth camping. But inside, these pop on and off really easily at night. They just have super magnets around the outside and some fabric on the inside that my grandmother actually sewed for me. So Amanda says that's one of her favorite things about the van.
Yes. They block out the light really well, and in the morning you can peek out and sometimes see the sunrise.
That's pretty great.
From the van.
Awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad we shared that. It was good to see more of a weekender setup, and you guys have really done a fabulous job.
Thanks.
Let's see some questions here. Where did that say? Are you comfortable sharing the cost of your build?
Probably about $800 or $900.
That's
plus
awesome.
plus the cooler. So I cut the bed and stuff on a CNC router. So I drew that first and then cut it out, and then so that bed and that's probably about $500 or $600 with the drawer slides, and then the cushions were a couple $100, and then a cooler. So it's pretty cheap.
Awesome. And you mentioned you did CNC. So did you design everything too?
Yep. Yeah. So I drew it, and then it went together basically in a night. Like we had to sand it a little bit, but once we had it cut out, it fits on 3 sheets of plywood, and then we just kind of snap those tabs together. We do a little bit of sanding, but snap the tabs together and then nail it up. So it went together the first time in a night, and then we took it apart and finished it and put it back together again and nailed it for good, glued it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what Marla's saying. That's super impressive. Especially the materials, using only so many of them. That's really awesome. Someone just commented you should think about selling the CNC design. Have you thought about that? I saw a Kickstarter thing pop up there.
Yeah, I don't want to sell. If I sold the files, like then anyone could go make it, and it kind of becomes open source at that point. If I want to make a business out of it, either just sell the panels for people that wanted to finish it, or sell it like pre-made with the drawer slides and all that. But just as a kind of a simple kit, because it's about 4 feet wide, it would fit in a pickup truck bed. It would fit in a mattress. It'd fit in a Transit Connect. It'd fit in a lot of the smaller ones, and it weighs less than 50 pounds. So I can pull it out myself and set it aside. And I've got the full, it comes out in like 10 minutes. And then I've got the full inside of the van to use for my business.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that it's so versatile for other types of vehicles as well. I know a lot of people who do weekenders, like having that versatility of like being able to remove it is actually really important for people. Can you talk about like how you chose those features?
To be able to take it out, or like what?
Just the versatility of the unit.
Oh, I built it out last year with a Volkswagen, like a Winnebago Eurovan interior that I took out of a wrecked car. And it was too much of a hassle to take it in and out. So then I really didn't have my van to use as a van to transport stuff. So I wanted something that with no tools, just disconnect the battery, I could slide it out. So having done it once with it not being as flexible, I wanted to be more flexible this time. And when we travel, we pretty much just slide the bed out and it's in bed mode all the time, like the big green van. But normal day to day, it's nice to be able to put something in there. And then if I need to move cargo around or deliver something to a customer, I don't have to plan ahead a lot to do that. I can just take it out, stick it in the garage, and then go.
Yeah.
And during the design, there was a lot of like, what would we use the side panels for? Or just kind of talking through like, when we've done this, when we've gone camping, what did we want within reach? What would we use that for? So really just based on our experiences, trying to make it usable.
Because when the bed thing is out, there's a bunch of cubby holes and like storage on the side that you can't see when that's in there, but like for jumper cables and things like that. The van, I bought it used, State Farm had owned it and had a little mobile office inside, like with a desk and an office chair and an overhead light. And the electrical was already in it. So there was an inverter and the 12 volt stuff was already in there. So part of the design was just repurposing that so that we had the electrical already there and just put it in a way that was convenient to use for the van. So I don't have to take it apart every time.
Yeah, and somebody had asked about, I think I saw 2 questions about, can you access the cooler from the inside or is that only from the back doors?
Only from the back doors. It's trapped under the bed. You can pull just the cooler side out. Because the NV200 has kind of a split rear section, it's like a 60-40 door. You can just open one side and slide the cooler out. So if you want to quickly run in and grab a beer, that's easy to do. If you really need to set up to cook, you can open everything up.
Yeah, more importantly, I need to do that soon, actually. Go grab a beer. Let's see, we had 2 questions. Where are you planning to travel next?
Depends what's not on fire. We just got back from Montana, Idaho, Oregon, and like got back to the Bay Area, like just in time to miss the bigger fires. We have the smoke from them here, but if the fires aren't too bad or the weather's good, I'll probably go up in the Sierras and go fishing this fall, and then we'll see what else we do.
We had talked about Lassen, but that's on fire now, so we'll see. I apologize for the Zoom background issues, but I teach, and this is my background when I teach, and this picture is from our camping trip that we just got back from. I think I took this in Idaho, and it was super beautiful.
Beautiful, not smoky there at that time. And I'm glad you weren't potatoes for this whole presentation. We are coming up on the last couple minutes of our time together here. So I do want to open up any questions that we might have for any of the presenters today. If you want to even unmute yourself and ask instead of chatting, that's a-okay. But we have a couple minutes, so go ahead and shout if you got something.
One question that I do have, I guess, for you van lifers. Did you guys do any modifications to your vehicle to make it any lighter? Because I did that with mine. I took 130 pounds off my van permanently by doing some modifications and renew designs and stuff, trying to keep everything as light as possible to save gas mileage like a sailboat. So did you guys do that?
Does anyone want to chime in on that one?
I did not do that.
Lenny, can you share what you took out?
What I did was I put a new catalytic converter in, but I put a smaller one in a 1993 Dodge Caravan 3.0 liter. I took out the muffler and the pipe. I put in a new muffler and a new type of pipe, professionally done. And so that took about 20 pounds off. I took about another 25 pounds off my wheels. And what I did that I did differently that I didn't see anybody else do. You know the carpet installation, you know how light that is for installation? I used that instead of using fiberglass. and I saw people how they used the spray foam. So that worked out pretty good. My van is soundproof. It keeps it pretty warm. I used 1.5 wood, and I used plastic cabinets at Walmart and converted, because I got 8 drawers in my 1993 Dodge Caravan. I built a bed, and I guess I can show you a really quick tour. I got the cat box, I got my cabinet, I got my bed. So it's a simple. I put small solar panels because my van is so small. I did my cabinets, as you can see. Of course, A, B, and C fire extinguisher for safety. And let me show you here on this other side. Because I was trying to build it like a pro master, so I built this. It took me about 2 years and YouTube videos. So there's my drawers, and underneath here, it's all cabinet space, just optimized every inch space. And I will be adding secret components for like my laptops and components down underneath my bed, so it's like invisible. And then what I did was I added the small little solar panels, so all my electricity is running off of mini solar panels for backpacking, because I had to keep everything light because everything's so small. And then I got these fans here. I installed 4 of these fans that run off a battery and solar panel. I'm able to run 2 of these laptop fans, and it runs about 4 hours off of a small battery solar panel. And so it works pretty good because it's low energy, low watt. And then I bought a memory foam 1 inch, folded in half, got 2 yoga mats, put 1 on top and the bottom, sewed a bed sheet to make the mattress, as you can see. So this is homemade Tempur-Pedic mattress. It's really comfortable, and I did the same thing with the pillow. And that's pretty much about it. And got the lightest wood that I can get. So I got everything at the Home Depot, and I used
Lenny, that's so awesome, Lenny. I'm glad you got to show us a little bit, and I think that the wait is really important. I do want to be cognizant of everybody's time. We're about 2 minutes over.
Okay.
Can we just give a silent applause to everybody who did a van tour today? Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
for being here. It was awesome. I'm inspired. I forget how creative and thoughtful we all are with our vans and with our vehicles, buses, RVs, everything. There's so much that we can continue to learn from each other, and I am definitely inspired to start doing some live interviews with some people so we can really dig into more questions. Jess, I took it over from you, but I'm gonna let you finish it out.
Oh yeah, I only have 1 more question for everyone. I would love to ask how this went. This is really important for us as we're like kind of preparing for our next events. So if you could just tell me how likely you are to recommend one of our virtual events, go ahead and score, 10 being very likely, 1 being not at all. And then I do want to share that next month virtual meetup is actually going to be a Leave No Trace training and how we can travel safely, and a lot more information about like where do you put your pee, like how can you shower at a campsite. So if you are new to Leave No Trace, it'll be a great introduction. If you are if you know about it already, it's okay. We're going to give you a little refresher and a little bit more information on some safety practices for traveling during COVID. So we'd love to see you all. It'll be the first Monday of next month. And then I would be amiss if I did not tell you that we are working on a very big giveaway partnership with Storyteller Overland. And you saw their van with Justin and Liz earlier today. We're actually giving away 1 week in a Storyteller Overland van. And so we'll be announcing that giveaway in very near future. And all you have to do is sign up with your email. So we're really stoked that you could all be here today, and everybody was so engaged. So thank you all for bringing your magic into this community, and I really hope to see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.